Man, oh man. What a day, what a day. We about to talk about it, y'all. We about to talk about it. Get into everything that's new. What up, No Cap? Appreciate you being here. Now let me close that down. Let me let the Discord know that we're live as well. Salute, feeling like Moses, Mr. Turned Up, Lindsay, Slimmatic, Reckon. What's good? What's good, y'all? Let me let the city chat know that we're live. And we'll get this show on the road. Shy in the building, and we back. Nino, Blue, Pineapples, Brown, what up? Scripted, what up? Man, oh man. Have y'all been keeping up? We got it all. We got it all right here. Shout out to Coach Z, by the way. There's one thing that y'all gonna be really happy about. No more RNG in shooting. Yes. No more RNG in shooting. It's been confirmed. You guys are going to be one of the first to see it right here on this live stream. I'm going to pull it up in just a second. We got the trailer. We got all of the new features. I already dropped the video on all of the new features. We covered everything. I wanted to drop it in a timely fashion before going live just to fill you guys in on the information. And I'm going to make standalone videos for each individual topic accompanied by all the other information we find out along the way. No RNG in shooting is a beautiful thing. We ready, dog life. Put them fire emojis in the chat, B. Like, it's a good, they talked some good stuff, y'all. They talk some good stuff. Mike Wang is going crazy right now with the Q&As, which is, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Because when Mike starts answering those questions, I'm getting buckets with the 199 super chat. Said Pro Play is 2K's AI system. Appreciate the super chat, man. Salute, starting it off right. Let's pull up on when we get to, put them fire emojis in the chat. Let's get this to 100. Hit that like button while you're here because it helps the algorithm, helps the live stream go out to more people. Appreciate all the fire emojis, man. The joint looks dope. Man, as soon as we get to 100, I'll pull up the first bit of information. Mike Wayne confirming there is no more RNG in shooting. And he shares some more details, man. He shares some more details. Flash said, I'm not falling for the bait. So here's what we're going to do. This is my promise to y'all. Because, man, I've been finessed for far too long as well. I know y'all feelings. I know how y'all feel. And, I just love 2K so much that every single time I get excited. But it takes homies like y'all to kind of chill, city, stop wilding. Remember what they did to us last year? And I got to tell myself that, you guys really helps keep me grounded. Hard work or what up, man? Mars, wagwan. Everything, Irie. First bit of information. We're going to go over all of the new features, review that core side report. I watched the Twitch live stream. I heard everything they had to say. In fact, some of the things that they talked about in the Twitch live stream, they didn't even share in the core side report. So at least with Mike Wayne's core side report, I have it all recorded. I have to break all of that down, and man, it's a lot of work ahead of me, but I love doing it. This is the best time of year, especially if 2K is able to execute this year. First bit of information, Mike Wayne confirms there is no more RNG in shooting for the first time in 2K history. This is the first time, y'all. I know a lot of people have felt like, well, it was 2K25's RNG that kind of messed up the game, but there's always been RNG. ATLJ with a $49.99 super chat. Looks fire. Let's see if they execute. Salute, ATLJ. Matter of fact, you deserve a mod for that. Coach Z with a $20 super chat set. Is the fun times back? Man, we could only hope. Let me get the homie. I don't know. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I want to get the homie a mod for that $49.99 super chat. That was super dope. I love the support that you guys offer. It's a beautiful thing. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me going. Let me get up there. Coach Z, appreciate the $20 super chat. Salute, brother. Add as a moderator, standard, save. This way I don't forget Love, what up, love? OG in the building. Wagwan, wagwan. Let's go, man. Mike says, yeah, he poses the question and then he answers. Let me make this larger because this is like one of the biggest. You would think that they would have put something like this in the courtside report. Vibes in the building. Wagwan vibes. I got to get vibes a mod as well. What's good, vibes? By the way, I'm going to create a new intro and I'm going to have Vibes' daughter in the intro. I will actually know my shot. What up, Red? Slim? Levman Films. Hopefully I pronounced that right. $4.99 super chat salute. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm most definitely waiting until season 2 or 3 to get the verdict. They're not getting me again. Mo Lejean, that alley-oop ish gotta go. Other than that, fire. We're gonna discuss all of these details that you guys are talking about. It's a lot. There's a lot. This stream is probably gonna be longer than I had anticipated because there's just so much to go over, and I need to get to work. Yeah, so this stream can't go that long because I need to do a lot of work on the back end. But Mike says, no, there will be no RNG in shooting. He said, because the question that's posed is, will there be RNG in shooting? Mike says, no, there will be no RNG in shooting. There has always been some element of RNG in every single past version of NBA 2K, including NBA 2K24. NBA 2K26 will be the first version to feature a completely pure green window. Man, tell me that alone. Tell me that that alone doesn't sound like fun. Pure green. You guys are going to, this is going to be when we see the skill gap. This is going to be where shooting, trust and believe. I could almost bet that shooting is going to be hella difficult for a lot of players. If this 2K's first time at a pure green window, forget about it. Oh, you're going to hear the first couple weeks, we need to improve shooting. We need to improve shooting. But 2K, you need to chill. Do not patch the game. Let people get their badges. We've been through this already. Let people get their badges. Let people get their players up, their attributes up, and then see how they fare against this new, first time ever, pure green window. On pro or lower difficulties, you can still make whites, but otherwise it's green or miss. Ooh, y'all gonna be sick. Bamo with a $2 super chat said, is that a tear in your eye? It feels like it, man. Appreciate the $2 super chat, man. It feels like it. I tell you, we've been asking for this. We're gonna see the difference in calibers of players, not like in 2K25 where they're handing out participation trophies and the RNG will kick in and swing the scores from what they were the whole entire game. Every third quarter in the rec center was complete madness. Never know what's going to happen. Don't be down by 20 points because you'll easily come up. Crazy, man. So that's the first bit of news. I'm super excited about that. And with that, accompanied by all the other changes that we learned about today, he said, is that a tear in your eye? Bring the fun back. Now, I got to tell y'all, man, I saw the trailer, which we're going to go over right now. I can't play the audio on the trailer, so I edited the trailer so that way I could put my own audio in there. Let me get my headset. Give me 1 second. They gave us fair warning during the Twitch live stream that if there was other people live stream, they may have wanted to mute it because the music was copyright. So I edited the first trailer, which we're gonna pull up right now. I edited that, put my own music in the background, and now we could at least hear something. I should be getting dunked on by guards as a 7-foot. Well, they talked about that as well. They talked about it as well, yeah. So much to go over. I'm looking forward. Matter of fact, before we move on over to the trailer, if you haven't hit the like button yet, I would love this particular live stream to go out to the masses. Take a second, hit that like button. We're at 32 right now. I would like to see that get to over 100. If you can get that up, I definitely appreciate it. We're getting on over into the first gameplay trailer I'm gonna put this up on screen there, and we'll pull up the first gameplay trailer for NBA 2K26 and move that chat down. So right now it's over me. You guys let me know what you think about this. All new motion engine we're gonna cover as well. Music's probably a little too loud. I'm hyped, so my mic is going into the red. Probably lower mine as well. What up, Hemi? What's good, man? Cut the clamps on. Sharper defensive coverage. Put on a show. Improved rhythm shooting. We're going to be talking about that as well. The changes coming to rhythm shooting, which I think you guys are going to like. It was one of my biggest issues with rhythm shooting, why I couldn't get into it, because sometimes you just want a quicker shot, a quicker motion into the shot. They talk about those changes. We're going to get into that as well. 234 in the chat. Go all over everything. They have 41-year-old LeBron James doing reverse dunks. So that's what we have for the first gameplay trailer. I'll let it play off one more time, and then we'll go into the courtside report and discuss all the changes coming to NBA 2K26. I want to make sure they have I covered everything from this trailer. I think I'm gonna wait a bit for this 2K. Last 2K was fun for a bit, then got boring. And it was like that in the front. No cap. Green bean, completely for the first time, literally no crying. Know your shot or pass the rock. Bars. Know your shot or pass the rock. In NBA 2K26, for the first time ever, we are getting a pure green window. Mike Wang has already confirmed it. That East Bay beat was nuts. Vibes. Why is my guy shooting when I'm just trying to dribble? Could be. I ain't gonna cap, Michael. Could be. Average points like this. I'll keep my fingers crossed, Ron. I'll keep my fingers crossed. That's what we're doing. No dip shooting should be tough. We're gonna talk about it. Do you guys know what no dip shooting is? A new catch and shoot mechanic that's supposed to change the way we catch and shoot corner sitters. Now we get into it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's do this. Let's get into this courtside report and talk about all of the changes, because I got to get to work. Yeah, like I got to get back to work. There's so much to go over. I'm going to put the chat down just so we could read the courtside report nice and easy. That way there's nothing in the way. I want to move my camera. Oh, I didn't want to move that up. I wanted to move my camera up. That courtside report should be locked. There we go. I wanted to move my camera up. There we go. Move that up a little bit. 244 in the chat. Chalk hates that Shea layup, and I do too. Begging to be chased down, block. Well, there's differences in layups now. You can choose which particular layups you want. We're gonna get into all of that. It's all covered in here. You guys are gonna be, if you haven't learned already, they've really addressed a lot of major community concerns. They really did. I can't even cap a little bit. I didn't miss anything, did I? No, I didn't miss anything. All right. Enhanced catch and shoot, the thing I like the most. All right. Smoother, cleaner, and more responsive gameplay powered by ProPlay. ProPlay, as you know it, is evolving on PlayStation, well, on Gen 9 systems. Use actual NBA footage. Weibo using actual NBA footage. My mic check is good. We're able to directly translate your favorite NBA star's signature moves and distinct movements to create thousands of realistic animations. Yada, 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 man. We need to know if you're going to execute. You already told us this. We already knew this about pro play. We need to know if 2K is going to actually execute. The foundational aspects of 2K are its gameplay. No matter what they're talking, pure green window, irrelevant if gameplay sucks. Catch and shoot, irrelevant if gameplay sucks. Customized layups, irrelevant if gameplay is not balanced and if gameplay sucks. Let's see what they're talking about. Using actual NBA footage. Pro Play's motion engine. Pro Play powers all new dynamic motion in NBA 2K26 generated from real-world NBA footage that influences all on-court movement, offense, defense, and off-ball. This is what they're saying is different this year for NBA 2K26 is that Pro Play, from what I understand, is supposed to be its final year incorporating Pro Play. Do you guys remember? I've been saying this for the longest time, that there's too many animations where both the offensive player and the defensive player feel like they're losing control of their players because we get stuck in canned animations, scripted animations where both players lose control, 2K takes over. 2K has finally admitted this. But they said that was due to motion capture. We've been dealing with canned animations for years. And you know what's crazy? You know how many videos, what up, Zeke? You know how many videos? We're talking about that right now, Zeke. But you know how many videos I made talking about canned animations? You know how many times I've been hated on by the members of the 2K community talking about, you don't even know what you're saying. There's no canned animations. That don't happen. Just learn how to play the game. It's so obvious. In NBA 2K25, it was hella obvious. Canned scripted animations, they addressed that multiple times in this Corsair report. Well, they're saying this new motion engine is the biggest change to player movement since NBA 2K21 and further advances the one-to-one realism of gameplay, which took a giant leap forward with the dribble engine introduced in NBA 2K25. And when I read that, I said, if they're trying to reference this pro play engine change to NBA 2K25's new dribble engine, that might not necessarily be a good thing. What do y'all think? What up, Natty? I like how they incorporated the quick shot mechanics. Me too. New machine learning technology in NBA 2K26 offers more precise, lifelike movement, which is noticeable in the most fundamental elements of the game. Dynamic lower body pose matching adjusts to exact positioning of players' legs and feet on the fly to remove skating, that gliding effect that a lot of defenders experience that you see in past games, and ensure that players launch, plant, and cut realistically. How many times in NBA 2K25 you saw the lane to the basket, but your player had to take this long-winded, winding route toward the basket, and by that time the defense is done caught up, and your driving dunk is turning into a layup. Period. I think the engine is good, but like most engines, it's going to take some time to get warmed up. This is my issue. 2K is 25 years in, going on 26. How long do you need to warm up? And if that's the case, why are we not paying less for something that's warming up? No, I'm paying for hot. I'm paying for right now. That's what I'm paying for. I'm not paying for us to be beta testers. I'm not paying to be a beta tester. I'm paying for right now. The best right now. Anyway, together, these systems work in harmony to not only make motion look better than ever before, but also leads to improvements across all areas of gameplay to create a fresh and authentic feeling when playing so you can compete at the highest level. Cooper Flag going crazy. They showing him. First look at Cooper in game. Enhanced rhythm shooting. We're going to get into everything, y'all. We're going to get into everything. And if rhythm shooting is so great, how come Wang puts 25% boost to greens or whatever to force everyone to use it? It's facts. They did give rhythm shooters a much much larger green window, more grace on the slightly early and slightly late edges of the green window. In NBA 2K26, rhythm shooting extends beyond mimicking each player's signature shooting animation to giving you full control over every aspect of the shot. And this is where things, we got to find out if 2K is going to be able to execute this. It sounds good in black and white, which I'm going to explain right now. Let's go over it first, and then I'll share some details. This shooting control method still relies on the down-up flicking motion with the shot stick, but now your shot timing and tempo will actually manipulate the shooter's upper body and impact how the shot looks throughout the complete motion by reflecting how you move the shot stick. From the start, you guys can see what's on screen. From the start, you'll see and feel the difference between early, late, slow, and fast releases. If you flick up early and rush your shot, you can do quick releases. Hear this out, yeah, because some of the biggest complaints from 2K players in regards to rhythm shooting was that oftentimes when you pressed it, the joint wouldn't even register a rhythm shot. And it'll go into like a shot with a stick, almost like a button shot. Now they're saying if you flick up early and rush your shot, you can do quick releases. I'm reading this right here. This is where I'm at. If you flick up late and slowly, you'll see the effect with delayed pushing motion and lazier releases. It was what was missing, in my opinion. It's why, point guards, some of the best shooters that I've seen in NBA 2K25 did indeed use rhythm shooting. So it was a beneficial mechanic for a lot of shooters, but I couldn't adapt to it at the point guard position. If I was a spot up, I could use it. But at the point guard position, I was unable to adapt to that joint. It just felt unnatural. So it says this enhanced feature grants more freedom than ever before to decide what type of jump shot you want to take. Counter a closeout from a defender by initiating a quick release. And the way in which you initiate a quick release, it says here, if you flick up early and rush your shot, you can do a quick release. So that I think is pretty dope. Shot you want, initiating a quick release and intentionally rushing your shot and still knock it down by executing excellent rhythm shooting tempo. So they're saying that first motion is going to be your feet. So setting up your shot is the first motion. How quickly you press down is going to be your first motion. And then you'll be able to adjust to that. Like if you take a quick release type of shot versus, a slower release, it is dependent upon the tempo. So as you're pushing up, that'll determine, how quick your shot is going to be. So much better. What up, Tron? Tron has entered the building. Wagwan, Tron. Wagwan. Keep in mind that 2K spends most on marketing. Yeah, 2K's number one line item expense is marketing. So this is why we're so hyped every single annual cycle that 2K drops a new game. We are so hyped because they are great at marketing. What up, Billy Sports, Jay Avenge? I've been shooting with the stick since NBA 2K8. Well, shooting with the stick is very different from rhythm shooting, but yeah. Lazier release. He said, what the F is 2K talking about? I've never heard of that term in my life. They should have. I thought it was funny when they read it in the Twitch live stream, but also I was like, how do you say a lazier release? What does that mean? Who's gonna accept shooting a lazier release? Maybe a slower release? If that mechanic works the way I think it will help out a lot for those of us who have a quick shot but slower hop jumper or dribble pull up. Love what I'm hearing, but I don't trust the execution. Absolutely. We'll scroll on down. That's what those are the adjustments and changes they're making to rhythm shooting. Green or miss shot timing. Green or miss shot timing will be universal in NBA 2K26 so that each mode has an even playing field. This means on higher difficulties, including most competitive multiplayer modes, only excellent timing green shots will go in. However, shot timing windows scale by difficulty and will be less forgiving in competitive modes like Proving Grounds and Pro-Am, but more forgiving in team control modes like my team, because you got to get used to so many different shots. In addition, layup timing is permanently enabled to separate skilled finishers and make those highly contested finishes at the rim even more spectacular and impressive. They're focused on skill-based gameplay, and that pure green window, it does indeed say that it's gonna be skill-based. It's gonna frustrate a lot of you, a lot of players. This is the issue, y'all. Players have been spoiled. 2K has watered down this game to the degree. Bama with a $5 super chat said, kick that slightly fast crap to the curb on my bigs. Nobody wants slow releases. Should have already been that way. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Bam, bam, bam. I feel like 2K has been hand-holding for the past 5 years. Players that have been spoiled by 2K are now going to see what a pure green window looks like, and they're not going to like it. Going back to muscle memory, something that veterans of the 2K franchise are accustomed to. We're accustomed to using our muscle memory for our shots. No more shifting green windows. They better not be. Otherwise, that's RNG. Mike Wang has already confirmed through his Q&A that there's no more RNG in shooting at all. For the first time ever, we're getting an absolutely pure green window. In the lower difficulty modes, you'll still be able to hit whites, but in the higher difficulty modes, it's green or miss. Lemon Films 199 super chat says, so we create our own. You don't create your own green window. It's still going to be, I imagine it's still going to be based, don't quote me on this, but I imagine it's still going to be on the particular base you choose. And like it was in previous versions of 2K, each base has its green window. Some are larger than others. Some have more success. But the concept behind it is using muscle memory to hit your shots. You hit the lab through countless repetitions, you learn your jump shot timing, and that jump shot timing remains static for every single shot you take. That's what's supposed to be a pure green window. Expect people to cry when they can't shoot, and 2K needs to know this. This is what irks me, because even when shoot, like Mike Wang mentioned, we'll pull up the image. Let's go back to this thing here. We'll pull up the image as Mike Wang confirms that there's going to be a pure green window in NBA 2K26. He says, no, there will be no RNG in shooting. There has always been some element of RNG in every single past version of NBA 2K, including NBA 2K24. So even when shooting was more difficult, like I remember on the 21 release, players were complaining they couldn't shoot at all, and there was still RNG in that game. So imagine how difficult shooting is going to be for players when 2K26 comes out. It's going to be one of the biggest, I imagine it's going to be one of the biggest complaints, unless 2K just, gives a generous slider for shooting and then everybody could shoot. They probably be, players will probably be more receptive to that idea. But I imagine if they're intending to make a pure green window, then they're going to put that green window really small, and it's going to lead to a lot of frustration from players unable to learn the new pure green window. He said, they say ultimately we wanted to emphasize skill-based competitive gameplay where your actions on the sticks provide more control of the outcomes you see in game. This renewed focus will be felt across multiple gameplay areas, from shot outcomes to successful blocks and steals and loose balls and rebounds. So much to talk about. 302 in the chat. You're 100% right about the shooting. It's confusing with the details they're giving us. Well, there hasn't been solidified. We're going to have to see gameplay, because there's still a slider effect that the devs have in regards to like percentages. We just need to know what our green window is going to look like. Normally, the green window is about 40 milliseconds. That's normal. It's normal size of a green window. They might cut that in half if it's pure. We were dealing with 40 millisecond green windows for a shifting green window when RNG was in the game. But I imagine they're going to cut that by a significant amount if they intend to leave it static and players are forced to use muscle memory to hit their shots like it was in previous versions of 2K. But I'm here for the skill gap as well. I want to see that skill gap, but let's move on. It's been encouraging to see players incorporate signature go-to shots. There's the go-to shots for post scorers. What do y'all think about that? First, there was, what you're seeing on screen is the signature go-to shots for post scorers. You know how in NBA 2K25 you could hold up on the stick and you'll go into a go-to shot animation. 2K pretty much hand holding a whole combination into a shot. In my opinion, they weren't effective enough the animations that they offered, the go-to animations that they offered, were not effective enough for players to actually make good use of. So now 2K, and don't get me wrong, I know some of you casuals out there probably used them effectively. And maybe a lot of people put Goto Shots on to activate every now and then, in certain situations or circumstances. Now 2K is talking about offering Goto Shots to post scorers, is what you're seeing on screen, which means that you'll go into like the whole shimmy. It says here, lean into a host of new moves, including shimmy floaters, baby hooks, and up and unders, all played out for you. You no longer have to go through the motions on the stick, pause, to play out these particular animations. They will now play out for you by just simply holding up on the stick, and depending on which post go-to shot you chose, will determine what you receive, from what I understand. Custom layups. This is a huge change, y'all. Huge change, custom layups. Let me get some coffee because my throat is getting dry. Don't seem like really anything to be excited about. Maybe I've just been playing too long. Well, I see a lot. So far, I could say I see a lot to be excited about. I'm not saying that to persuade anybody else to get excited. In fact, I hope that you'll keep me grounded as I do get excited learning about these things. But, I'll tell you one thing that's that I'm really excited about that 2K announced, and we'll go over it in this Corsair report. They said that the gameplay speed is going to be sped up more. The speed is going to be increased in NBA 2K26 in comparison to NBA 2K25. So faster speed, definitely a good thing. There's so much to go over though. There's options like the quick protect for ball handlers to kind of eliminate people who like to spam. Another great feature. We'll get into it. But right now we're talking about custom layups. Casual crybabies and comp crybabies is what the homie said, Marlon. In the past, your signature layup package determined all of your layup types. So you would choose a layup package, and sometimes there's certain layups, like there's certain animations within that package that sometimes prove to be a liability. You're looking for one particular layup out of a package, and you're trying to find the right spot on the floor to activate that layup. But then some of the other ones may activate because you mistimed the area on the floor, and now you're stuck. Bama with a $20 super chat says, appreciate it, Bam. Thank you. He says, sounds like spending time in the lab is viable again. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that beautiful? You can improve if you know 100% what you're doing wrong instead of wondering if it's RNG messing you up. That's what I got to thinking about when I read that stuff as well. I'm like, 2K, you're owning that the stuff was scripted now, finally, and you had us playing this game hitting the lab for what? Grinding shot timing was useless in 25. There were instances where I spent hours in the lab trying to master my shot and had one of the worst shooting days ever. I'm like, man, I spent so much hours practicing the shot to learn it so that I could get online and compete at a decent level, and I'd end up having one of the worst shooting days ever. Neither here nor there. We'll get into the customization of layups. You are now going to see a menu similar to what you're seeing on screen right now, where you choose the particular layup animation that you want to receive and build a package, which is dope. I know a lot of you guys are like, well, we want to see that for dunks as well. I want to see that for dunks too. But this is dope. You're able to choose, and dunks pretty much had it. If you guys dug a little deeper in the dunking packages, you could choose the correct animations. I found it to be convenient. It's just the contest system was so poor in NBA 2K25. Hopefully it's better. But now you're able to mix and match your layups. It says wreak havoc on the competition by utilizing Steph's graceful layups, James Harden's shifty Euro steps, or SGA's elusive hop steps, and Jokic's nipple spin moves to create a dominant custom package. 199 super chat for Shamar. Hopefully no more Mighty Duck offense, man. Oh, man. Defense improvements. Play freely with physicality in NBA 2K26 using body ups and collisions to antagonize opponents. Thank God the good homie Tron is not reading this courtside report, because Lord knows the difficulties he would have had with physicality. That word right here, physicality, he would have screwed that whole thing. Physical as physical reality. I imagine he would have said something like that, right, Tron? You let me know, but I think he would have said something like that. The physical realities in NBA 2K26, body ups and collisions. NBA 2K26 uses system-driven technology to generate player-to-player collisions that are more reliable compared to previously scripted. When I read this, bro, I felt it was like, man, you see this happening in game, but you can't find many people to agree with you amongst each other, amongst the players that I run with. We're easy to see this. Like, it's easy for us to see this stuff. The joint is scripted. The joint, and I've always said, we've had long conversations throughout live streams that they kind of need to separate the defensive and offensive animations when you go into collisions. 2K tried to introduce something called, they even marketed this to us because that's their number one line item expenses, marketing. They marketed something called the new impact engine to make up for the flaws that were in game, the scripted flaws that were in game. That's what they marketed. They sold this to us, the impact engine. Now they're acknowledging, compared to previously scripted motion captured animations, and they're referring to player-to-player collisions. So that's just so you guys understand, they're referring to player-to-player collisions, and they're acknowledging that in previous versions of 2K, they had scripted motion captured animations. Just no more scripts. We're tired of them. You never did them well. Coupled with the new dynamic motion, this change improves the freedom of movement for both the dribbler and the on-ball defender. And I was gonna mention earlier that I wanted to make a promise to you guys that I'm saving all of this new features that they're talking about, and throughout the year we're gonna see how gameplay matches up to what they're marketing to us. I want to make sure that gameplay lives up to what they're telling us, because they're saying that in previous versions of 2K there was these scripted animations due to motion capture, but now pro play encompasses all movement on the course, so motion capture is no longer a factor in game. So if we come across canned animations, it'll be incorporated into pro play animations, and my guess is that there's a lack of development in game. There's some sort of sense of laziness if we come across canned or scripted animations again. We'll see what happens, but they're promising a more dynamic and like intuitive collision engine. So we'll see what happens with that. Placebo effect engines, because none of this ish exists after launch, and we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We made the ball extremely vulnerable to steals when posting up far from the rim to mitigate the L2 cheese. Interesting, Hoax. Thank you for sharing that. He said, Mike Wayne just tweeted, we made the ball extremely vulnerable to steals when posting up far from the rim to mitigate the L2 cheese. That is perfect. Thank you for sharing that again, Hoax. Salute. Interior defense has been redesigned so it's easier to get strong body bumps in the air when contesting finishers at the rim. Bigs will feel increased physicality when roaming in the paint. Now explain this to me, because a major issue in NBA 2K25 was changing the dunk animation that we queued up on our controller, 2K changing our dunks into a layup. It takes two different controller cues to initiate a dunk or a layup. Why is the animation that I queued up changing from a dunk into a layup? 2K says here, interior defense has been redesigned so that it's easier to get strong body bumps in the air. To me, that sounds like they're going to be changing more dunks into layups. Considering that they've been advertising these custom layup animations, it seems to me like they know there's a fault there, and we're going to go into yet another year where they're changing our dunks into layups. I could be wrong about that, but they're going pretty hard on these layup animations. In other words, trying to give players options and trying to put it the shortcomings of 2K attempting to put that on the player. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 99. I imagine layup animations might be more OP than dunk animations. That's usually how 2K does this. They take their flaws and they try the best way to flip it around to put it on the player and make it the player's fault. You know, it is what it is. I prefer, if I queue up a dunk, let me go for the dunk animation, whether that's successful or not. Similar to what Uncle Demi mentioned, is similar to what I've been saying for the, I don't know how many years. Let me just get the animation I queued up, whether it's successful or not. I'll live with that and I'll learn from that. New rebounding timing feedback. In NBA 2K26, a green meter will flash beneath your player's feet to indicate well-timed rebound attempt. The ideal time to jump for a rebound is just before the ball makes its final bounce off the rim. And higher rebounding attribute ratings will make it easier to nail your timing. Excellent timing can significantly boost your chances of securing a board. And that's the green that he's talking about, the green flash. I saw this in the Twitch live stream in motion. So it just flashes green if you timed your rebound jump correctly. I don't know what you guys think about that. I think it's an unnecessary... you know, smart rebounders probably feel the same. We know. Damn near off the shot. Good rebounders know which way it's going to bounce. Damn near off the shot. When the RNG kicks in the third quarter of a red game, you have no clue where that joint is going. But most of the game, you kind of know the way the trajectory of the shot is, whether that ball is going to fall short or go long. But that's what they're offering. Dictate every facet of the game with new and revamped controls for more intuitive, deliberate, and a free-flowing experience. With this overall game speed is now sped up to reward players with faster decision-making who can read the court, anticipate their opponent, and react quicker. Bum, 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 bum. We need vibes, bro. We need vibes. Bum, 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 bum. That is dope. Overall game speed in NBA 2K26 is now sped up. You know how long we've been asking for the game speed to be, you know, a lot faster? When the game speed was at its fastest, we were still calling for it to be faster. 2K might have cut that speed in half from the 2K heyday. From the game speed in 2K's heyday. 2K25's gameplay speed might be cut in half. So saying they're going to speed it up is only going to take us maybe at most to what we've seen in previous versions of 2K, but it's still good. It's still, I prefer faster gameplay speed. Oh my God. Looking at left, right behind the screen. Well, here's the thing, y'all. A lot of people don't like left, right behind the screens, but good defense eliminates that, man. The strategy behind having the right players out there at the right time is what we need to get back to, in my opinion. If you got a center playing the pick and roll on an elite point guard, he's going to chew ya up. But if you got a good lockdown with a good swing, playing that pick and roll, the lockdown and swing have super high steal attributes and defensive attributes. They're able to eliminate the point guard and eliminate the roll, because they're playing the passing lane toward the paint. Get back to the strategy of the sport. That's what I want to see. Not cheesing. I'm not asking for cheese. What I'm saying is I don't want ball handlers to be able to speed boost glitch using a screen. That's unfair. Keep the defense we have now, where that if they lack the proper players on the court, the defense is going to get chewed up. But if the right players are on the court, they strategically chose the right players to team up with, then, you know, they lock that point guard up. More options for ball handlers. You should get a soundboard. Facts. Yeah, I have a soundboard. I just don't use it no more. I have this, what's it called? The Steam Deck? The Stream Deck? Yeah, Stream Deck. So I have the Stream Deck where y'all see it on screen. Yeah, I have the Stream Deck, but I don't use it anymore. I got to put it up before we start getting into NBA 2K26. So many things that I have over the years. Quick protect, y'all. Mike tweeted, yeah, I know Mike is going cry. I got so much work to do. Yeah, I'm trying to get through this live stream so that I could get on over into this work. It says ball handlers can now tap left trigger to initiate quick protect movements to shield the ball and evade steals. I was getting put into jump shot animations like last year when I was just crossing over. So now you have this quick protect option where those players who like to, I was just playing point guard the other day and I'm like, damn, they're rewarding. I mean, this guy hit that steal button a half an hour early and he's still getting rewarded with a steal. Well, now I have an option to quickly protect the rock. If you see a defender reaching for a steal and react quickly enough with the quick protect, you can counter it. This is because the steal system, this balances the steal system by introducing more skill-based outcome. You can also, there's another thing, the other option with quick protect is you can also put defenders in a compromising position by using quick protect while driving to the rim. It'll decelerate your player and pin your opponent against your hip to trap them in defender jail. Some of the craftiest ball handlers, Jalen Brunson, Doncic, and Young, all excel at this, making them incredibly challenging to guard. And this is the quick protect option that you guys will have now. If you hit that button, you'll quickly protect the rock and eliminate the steal animation. No dip, catch, and shoots. Now, 336 in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. No dip, catch, and shoots. Hold the left trigger when receiving a pass while standing still to square up. Catch the ball high and seamlessly transition directly into your shooting motion in rhythm to get the shot up quickly. Knock down shots like Klay Thompson and Ray Allen as defenders race to close out before you release. Now, in NBA, I'll get to that super chat in just 1 second. In NBA 2K25, on catch and shoots, you were able to hold the left trigger to kind of set up. But you never knew, even with holding the left trigger, whether you were going to shoot from the catch up into an animation or you're going to take the ball downward and dip and then go back up into your shot. That was the issue we were having. They're saying now if you hold that left trigger, if I'm not mistaken, it is the left trigger. Yeah, hold the left trigger. If you hold that left trigger, you'll catch the ball high. And from that point of catching the ball, you'll go directly into your shot. And they're showing it in action right here. As you guys can see, a lot quicker animations. Bama with a $10 super chat said, heard the game helping you stay in front of ball handlers has been almost completely removed. If you move the wrong way, you'll get your ankles broke, but not because the game made you do it. Skill gap. Absolutely, man. We need more skill gap changes. That's what we need. We don't too many body up animations and too much hand holding from 2K. I definitely would like to see more skill gap, but you're seeing it in motion. The no dip catch and shoot shots. Shooters, corner sitters now have an option to shoot directly from the chest. It's a lot quicker than dipping the ball down and then coming back up, which is why players were getting contested. Revamp signature size ups. This talking about like there's two ways to activate your signature size ups now. You can flick left right on your dribble stick, or you could continuously hit up on your dribble sticks and you'll go between two different signature size up animations depending on which one you choose, and you're seeing it in action right here. Slow motion Euro steps. That was another good feature that they added into the game. Only if you hold LT for pocket shooters, that's fire. After initiating a Euro steps, I think, are dope, by the way. But after initiating a Euro step, you can hold the left trigger at any point to deliberately decelerate mid-move to throw defenders off and create space with slow motion drag step finishes. Slither through the lane and control the pace to send defenders careening past you. So they're saying you can decelerate your player mid-Euro step and slow down that Euro step so that man just goes, he's going to jump and just go flying right past you. They're now offering wrap passes, and you get to choose when you throw that wrap pass. I love throwing wrap passes. It says wrap passes now have a dedicated control by double tapping circle, which used to be a bounce pass. Well, now if you double tap circle as you're in motion, you can do a wrap pass and get a nice clean passing animation as opposed to trying to throw a chest pass right into a defender's grill. It ensures you aren't throwing the ball straight into the back of a defender. Alley-oops. Alley-oops are getting a huge change as well. Catching an alley-oop now requires more skill. Once the pass is thrown, the finish button for the receiver will be randomized on higher difficulties to one of 4 face buttons on your controller instead of always being square or X. How you feel about that? I know a lot of people, they don't like that. I know a lot of people don't like that. But I guess 2K is going to flash an icon on the screen, one of the face buttons on your controller, and you're going to have to match that icon in order to complete that alley-oop. Otherwise, you're missing. On the lower difficulty modes, you'll still retain the option to just hit square. On the higher difficulty modes, you'll have to choose the correct icon that 2K sets up for you. No more throwing lobs. I think it's gonna be easy. I don't think it's gonna be that difficult, yeah. So no more flashy pass. That's what it was? It was a flashy pass, was double tap circle. That's what it was. That's right. Yeah, it was a bounce pass. It was flashy. That was my fault. But yeah, double tap was flashy, but they may have moved it. They didn't mention flashy passes. They may have moved it, but we'll find out. I'll look into that. Ain't no PG gonna throw lobs now. Nah, they're gonna throw them. They're gonna throw them. It ain't gonna be that difficult. I don't mind if lobs are good. If lobs are trash, horrible feature. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be much. I think alley-oops are going to be very similar, and they just incorporated this. So we're going to have very similar alley-oops with this new feature, trying to create a skill gap. To me, it was unnecessary. 2K makes alley-oops difficult enough. They need to just make sure that they kind of factor in the players that are on the court trying to defend the alley-oop. You can't have a point guard in the paint attempting to defend an alley-oop and bumping a slasher with a 96 driving dunk. He should just get yammed on, and it should be noticed. That play should put that point guard on notice, stay out the paint. Now, if it's a big man in the paint, it's something different. Hoke said, Mike Wang, bigs will play a slice stumble if they are heavily contested, blocked under the rim to give the defense an edge in recovering the 50-50 ball. Too many times. Good. Yeah, that's what should have been happening. They were giving defenses, they were giving the person who made a good contest a stumble recovery animation, and letting the offense who made a poor decision to go up on that big the opportunity to recover the rock. No stumble animation. Looks like they swapped that. So much to go over. I can't wait to get to it. Setting screens is another good feature that some of you guys may not like. But now, if you're a big man, I had a big man this year, but now if you're a big man, you can maneuver your player so that he's setting the screen in the correct way while you're holding the screen. Screeners can now control which way you want to face. Tapping the left stick slightly left or right from the direction you are currently screening will turn your player 45 degrees. And tapping the left stick in the opposite direction will turn your player 180 degrees. So if you set up the screen facing the wrong way, you could tap it to the opposite direction and he'll completely flip 180 degrees. Jesus Christ. Why? It's crazy to think that we even accept less, in these previous versions of 2K, we accept less from 2K. Why am I standing there the complete wrong direction setting the screen? Of course I should have control on which direction I'm setting the screen, but I digress, and 2K is incorporating changes. So the rest is about AI. I'm not going to get into the AI stuff, but those are the changes that we have to look forward to. Mike Wayne confirming there is no longer RNG in shooting. He says here, will there be RNG in shooting? Mike responds, no, there will be no RNG in shooting. He says, there has always been some element of RNG in every past version of NBA 2K, including NBA 2K24. NBA 2K26 will be the first version to feature a completely pure green window. Man, that makes me so happy. Man, that makes me so, it's going to make a lot of y'all don't realize it yet, but I have a feeling it's going to make a lot of y'all extra frustrated with shooting next year. And NBA 2K26 will be the first version to feature a completely pure green window. On pro or lower difficulties, you can still make whites, but otherwise, it's green or miss. We need to know how to deal with AIs. Y'all want to talk about the AI stuff? I'll go back to it. If y'all want to talk about the AI stuff, I'll go back to it. Put a one. Let me see. Put a one. I don't really want to freaking deal with the AI stuff. But if y'all want me to go back into the AI, put a one, put a two if you don't. And I'll consider going back to it and we'll talk some more about it. I'm thinking I need to get to what Mike Wang's saying. People about to cry about screens again. They're about to cry about screens. It's better for them practice makes perfect again. Yeah, man. I want to get back to hitting the lab, learning my jump shot. I want to get back to, the time that I invest learning my jump shot and being able to use that effectively on the court. I got 4 ones. That's how I get badges. All right, let's get back to it. I'll get back to it. The homies want to see it. You asked for it. Drew got it, man. They want to know about the AI stuff. All right, they want to know about the AI stuff. We'll talk about it. AI coaching. Enjoy enhanced AI that adapts strategically to your every move, regardless of whatever you're on offense or defense. Drive and kick intelligence. They're going to have improved drive and kick intelligence, as offensive AIs are now equipped with new intelligence module that enables them to actively look for scoring opportunities through drive and kick plays to generate offense, completely outside of regular plays. This module helps the AI understand defender rotations. You know how the AI likes to dive into the paint and leave that corner 3 wide open? Well, now if an AI is driving, let's say you're a different type of player, I normally play the point guard position whenever I play my career, but if you're a different type of player and your PG is an AI, as he attempts to drive and that defender collapses from the corner, the AI is going to now recognize that and pass that out. Help defense intelligence. Help defense can now dynamically adjust based on both the off-ball defense pressure based on both the off-ball defensive pressure you have assigned and the position of the basketball in relation to the basket, so that your off-ball AI defenders can help on drives in the paint more consistently. As the ball gets closer to the basket, defenders will now be affected by the gravity of the ball and adjust their positioning to help recreate collapsing NBA defenses to protect the paint and then recover back out to shooters. These improvements work in tandem with the improved drive and kick intelligence and complement each other to create a secondary level of ball movement that gives you opportunities to attack closeouts on defense and to make the second and third pass on offense. They're introducing My Player Freelance Engine. When playing as your My Player, your AI teammates will now consider your position on the court even when you don't have the ball. Why? Why is this a thing that we're getting now in NBA 2K26? I like it. I like that the AI is finally like gonna recognize you where you're standing and move the hell out the way, bro. Man, that joint's brutal. I can't tell you how many times we had AIs in the rec center and our AI will straight stand. I'm running a point guard. My dude would just stand right next to me like, yo, what's good, bro? Trying to give me that mid dribble combination. So, of course, that leads me to being double teamed. Oh, man. So now it says what helps them determine floor spacing outside of plays and isolations. Together with the improved drive and kick intelligence, your AI teammates will find you off ball more consistently when penetrating or running the pick and roll action with you. This allows for a new set of quick plays that can be called by you when playing off ball. You can now call plays off ball to alert your AI teammates to scoring opportunities. For example, you can alert your team's ball handler that you are coming to set a screen for them, or call quick post up and floppy actions for yourself. Interesting. Improved double teams. Double team defensive logic in NBA 2K26 has been improved to better track moving targets. AI will identify dangerous players more effectively, better anticipate when to send double teams, and close out more intelligently. What up, Angel? What's good, man? Navigating screens. AI defenders will now have improved logic to choose the best route around screens and obstacles on the court. You'll notice more decisive positioning and movement to go over, under, or through the screen, dependent on your strategy. They're talking about expanded playbooks. Playbooks in NBA 2K26 have been expanded to hold up to 80 plays. This allows playbooks to more authentically replicate teams' offensive systems that they use in the real world. 10 new variables have been added to even more effectively differentiate the AI's ability across lower and higher difficulties, including awareness of help defense rotations, speed at which help defense will commit once called for it, and how quickly defenders can recognize when a pass was initiated to react for pass lane steal opportunities. AI shot timing and play now my NBA. Oh, that's play now my NBA. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Wrapping it up, says gameplay in 2K26 is intended to feel smoother, faster, and more seamless than ever before. In the next Corsair report, we'll dive into this year's presentation enhancements and how they complement the gameplay for all-encompassing, authentic immersion. So that's what we got. That pretty much makes up the Corsair report. As you guys see on screen, if you just tuned in, Mike Wang confirmed there's no more RNG in shooting. Thank the good Lord. I'm about to get to it. We just hit an hour. We're like on the minute of an hour. So that's perfect timing. So much is going on right now. Mike Wang is answering a bunch of questions. And if I end up putting together a bunch of these questions, I might end up going live again later on today. What time is it now? Is going on 3 o'clock. It looks like I might end up going live again maybe later on this evening after I compile all these questions and answers from Mike Wang. I'm sure he's got some good information. Some of you guys in the stream have already shared some of the information he's talked about. These are one of the questions that he's answered, which was hella beneficial to know. I imagine it should have been one of the first things that they announced and marketed. I don't know what 2K be thinking, but they didn't say anything about RNG until Mike Wang posed that question and answered it. 2K26 is looking good so far, but we got to take this all with a grain of salt because 2K are geniuses at marketing. That is what they do. Executing, not so much. We'll see what's to come of NBA 2K26. I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. If you guys want to stay up to date with the latest information on NBA 2K26, definitely consider subscribing because we'll be going live and dropping videos every single day. I'll catch you guys. Matter of fact, hoping you all have a safe and blessed rest of your afternoon. I might catch you guys later. I'll catch y'all on the next video or live stream.